How are you doing? I'm very excited today because today we're talking about Dinah Jane's debut EP, Juice County Volume 1. This is her first full official EP, and I'm so very excited for it because I have been loving the direction she's been going in musically lately. So yes, this EP has been very anticipated. So let's just listen to it together, talk about it together. And yeah, let's begin. We have 7 songs and a remix to talk about, so 8 in total. I'm very excited about them. So let's go. Starting off with Ocean Song. This was the first proper single for this EP, and this is also, I feel the turning point for me in Dinah's career, where I feel I saw what she was going for. I feel she found her sound around this time as well, and I saw the direction she was taking in. I was captured by it and very excited for it, and she's been going that direction ever since, and I'm loving it. And Ocean Song is just such a fun, summery, vibey song. It's also very sweet, and I don't know, I have a blast listening to it every single time it comes on. Then next we have Road Less Traveled, and this was the second single, and I like this a little bit less than Ocean Song, but I do still like it. Again, it's a vibe. I feel Dinah songs are very vibey, if that makes sense. It's a very chill vibe. It's very fun to listen to. I like the lyrics of it, the message of it, and yeah, overall a good time. Then next we have Let's Go featuring J King and Young Go. This one actually came out in August, so go watch my straight to the playlist video for August to have my pure first reactions to it. But it's probably my least favorite of these 3 singles, just because, but I do still quite like it. I feel the 3 artists work really well together in a song. I feel sometimes when you have that many cooks in the kitchen, it doesn't always work out, but I feel for this song it definitely does. Everything just blends really well and works together really well. It was also again another fun vibey song, so yeah, no complaints. Then next we have Cinderella Story. I feel I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, this is a song that Dinah has been teasing for a while. At least it pings something in my memory, but nothing properly. And honestly, it has been worth the wait. It's such a good song. It's got a really nice vibe to it. Really like the sound of it, but also the lyrics to it I really like, kind of being I deserve a Cinderella story. I really like that message that I deserve to be treated like a princess, to be I love that aspect to it as well. It has this kind of confidence to it that I really enjoy, and overall just the lyrics are really great as well. Then next we have Tell Me featuring Tone Stitz. And this one again I really like. I feel it's a bit of a different sound from the rest of the EP so far. It really jumps out, but it also fits in really well, if that makes sense. It's incredibly fun. I just had a little dancey dance to it, but listening to it I just couldn't sit still. And again, these 2 artists just sound incredible together, and it just works really well. Then next we have Just Us Two. This is another incredibly fun song. It feels very lovey-dovey to me, which I can't really explain where that comes from, but it's kind of the only thought I really have about it, where it just feels I don't know, a warm hug in a way, where it's just I don't know, I'm explaining this terribly, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, of course. And then next we have Yaya, which technically this is the first single released from this EP. It's back well. I feel Ocean Song is the first one with specifically this project in mind, if that makes sense. Jaya came out a while ago. It's kind of Dinah's comeback to music after taking a break for a couple of years, and I don't like this song. I do get that why it was included in the EP, just now listening to it all in a row, I feel sonically it fits in really well, and it's a fun song when it comes to the melody and the production and everything, but the lyrics are abysmal in my opinion. I already hated the song when I first listened to it and back when it first came out, but I still do. I feel if it wasn't for the explicit nature of these lyrics, I feel it was generally written by a toddler. I don't know, it's so bad. And yeah, I kind of wish it wasn't on the EP, because I feel the rest of the EP has decent songwriting and then this doesn't, and it hurts the overall project in my opinion, but I do understand its inclusion, if that makes sense. And then lastly we have Road Less Traveled, the reggae version. Honestly, I prefer this over the original. I just feel it's more of a vibe. I feel it also elevates the song a little, makes it stand out a bit more, and overall it just works really well, and I personally prefer it over Road Less Traveled. So everything I said about that song still stands, but then add some extra love to it, I guess. Anyway, that was it for this EP. I totally enjoyed it. No top 3s for EPs just because I feel like it's difficult with the lack of songs, but my favorite from this is probably Tell Me or Cinderella Story. I really like both of their songs, but I can definitely see my love for any of these songs growing as I listen to them more. I am so happy Dinah finally decided to release this EP. I feel like it's such a vibe. It's so summery as well. I remember when she announced this, it's like summer's not over yet, and like this generally embraces that vibe and I really enjoy, and it feels very Dinah, this whole project. And I have to say that it feels a bit one note. The second half of it does like Tell Me, Just As You and Yaya does kind of sound a bit different from the first half of the EP and stand out just a tad bit more, but I do feel like it's just a bit too one note, if that makes sense. Like it's a very cohesive EP obviously, but I don't know, it all sounds a bit too similar, and I found myself kind of having a bit of a hard time kind of distinguishing between songs while trying to do this video, because it all just sonically is so similar. Even when it comes to the themes, a lot of it is about love and being in love and just being happy in love, so it does feel a bit one note that way, but it is still a very enjoyable listen. And I'm sure that when I put this EP like in my playlist and everything is on shuffle and spread out, that won't feel the samey as much, hopefully. But I do definitely really enjoy every song except Yaya on his album, so I don't know which one I would scrap to make it feel less samey, I guess. But yeah, that's also why I prefer the reggae version of Wordless Travel over the original, because it just feels a bit more unique amongst the rest of the singles, amongst the rest of the songs on the EP. But overall, I feel like it is, if you are to use this EP as kind of like an introduction to Dinah, I feel like it is very strong, very much more stronger than any of the singles she released pre this era. I feel like from her previous releases, it's like 1 or 2 songs I do quite like, but like overall it's just very generic music to me, and it doesn't really have that distinct voice, and I feel like these songs definitely do, and that has just made me very excited to see what else is to come from Dinah in the future, especially as she like gets to develop this side of herself more. So I am very excited. I do really like these songs again. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of these songs of this EP. Just discuss things with me. I'd love to know your favorite song, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Good.